He's Black Guy Fawkes, and I'm his buddy. And together we are Fawkes and Friends. Today, the third friend who we're talking to about creativity and social justice is Jon Snodgrass.
1, 2, 3, 4. From coast to coast, from sea to shining sea, what he got is fucking long. His land's not made for you and me. We're chatting built the wall as we tear down Belgium's stall. And watch our kids get slaughtered as they run straight through the hall. Let's go!
Well, Ian, this is the week, man. If somebody's listening to this on the day of release, we are on our way to Toronto in separate vehicles, but heading to the same place.
Yeah, we're both headed up to Toronto for Lost Evening 7. I'll be hosting the Cowboy Chords open mic during the whole run, alongside moderating the panel on independent band economics. So it's gonna be two different experiences, but we'll have the same equal amount of fun, and it's gonna be delightful. I'm looking forward to spending another Lost Evenings with you.
And then after that, you've got more shows.
Yeah, oh, I do have more shows. You just reminded me. I am going to be in Winchester, Virginia with my friend Joey Harcum and Meager Kings at Brightbox, and tickets on sale for that right now. So get yours today. And right after that, Ed picks me up in Chicago, and we start a tour with Colchester, Connecticut's favorite punk band, The Peanuts, and it's going to be insane. And if you don't mind, I was thinking about this. I may forget it, so I mean to borrow your toothpaste. Are you okay to borrow toothpaste?
Toothpaste, yes. Toothbrush, no. That would be gross. But yeah, you can borrow my toothpaste, Ian. Ian, forget about the future. Today, we're talking to the one and only Jon Snodgrass.
Jon Snodgrass, the original buddy. I met Jon just last year in Baltimore. He is simply just the kindest dude, and also just undercover one of the funniest people. He tormented me back like he didn't know Mike Schnabel, our mutual friend, and then made fun of me, saying, "Dude, I'm just messing with you." He's good people. I love Jon.
Yeah, I left this interview feeling all warm and fuzzy. He's just a great guy all
You
around.
can't be sad around him. He's so wholesome. Jon Snodgrass, welcome to Fawkes and Friends. How you doing today, my friend?
I'm pretty good. How are you? It's so nice to talk to you.
I'm doing pretty good. We've seen each other a lot this year, I feel like. We saw each other at Pooza in Montreal.
Yep. Yeah.
I know I saw you in Denver, but were you in Vegas? I can't remember if you were or not.
No,
Rug bowling.
that was sort of my already kind of planned time off, and I was bummed. And almost every year I'm kind of sort of jealous. There's always someone that I want to see. And I'm like, oh, fuck. I haven't played that thing for a long time. But this time I really wanted to go. I want to see, when All plays, I'd like to go see All, but I'll be back. It'll always be there. That's my thought about things, right? Have you heard me talk about my 50-50 is 100% thing?
I haven't, no.
That's my new bit. I said it on stage. I've been trying to boil things down for like a long time, right? Because I talk too much. I know that I do. Made a record called Tasse, which I'm repeating certain things because it makes sense, things that worked out. But it's called Tasse, and I know that because I did an interview with a guy from Italy. And as he says Tasse, I'm about to be like, oh, you mean my record Taste? And I was about to say Taste. And I'm like, oh, I'm not going to correct a dude that is from a country that is rooted in the Latin. I called it Tasse, because the Snodgrass coat of arms or whatever it was like a facta not verba. So I changed that, that bird that's on that record, and he's going, shh. So instead of like screaming, like, let's talk more action, it's just a bird going. And I had my friend Chris Sherry add the feathers like fingers, put lips on the bird. Anyways, so kind of moving with that, the new thing that I've been thinking is, 50-50 is 100%. Like I got a song. Oh, and people started tweeting me about it. I'm like, oh, okay, that's good. Is the idea, it's pretty Buddhist type of thing, just like a yin and yang, kind of vibe, right? But 50-50 is 100%. It's finite 51 is 51 is success. So it's basically like, I'm not delusional. Everyone has good days and bad days. You just try to lean towards the positive side, right? Just do your best. And if you kind of go into it thinking like, people's perceptions are like, oh, I got to go to the airport. It's going to be shitty and they treat me wrong. Like, okay, unless you go into the airport and you're like with a smile on your face and just 51%. And airport works out pretty good for me. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Like, I travel all the time and I got no problem. Like, works real good. Yeah, I take my guitar on the plane. Of course I do. You don't? Probably a dick. I don't know. Thanks.
Yeah, I would say where I'm trying to get into that state of mind thinking where trying to push a positive because what did I put out into the world? I'm going to get back. So
Yeah. And wait, and I apologize when I said kind of a dick. I know they haven't always let me bring the guitar, right? There's been a couple times, but I don't want someone sitting there listening to it and be like, "Oh, maybe I am a dick." No, I am too. Sometimes I'm a dick. Not with the guitar though. I'm nice. Okay, I'm listening now. I want to hear what you have to say.
but I do want to talk about your record budget. Well,
Okay.
yeah, I was just listening to that just today and yesterday. It's I love the lyricism on that, especially in Slugs. That song just so simple, but it's so fucking powerful. I love that song.
Thank you.
Of course, man. What is your songwriting process like? Like how do you go through writing a song?
Well, that song that you love, it's funny you ask because some of the songs are written in the time it takes to hear them. And then some of them, well, they all start that way. And then some of them I'll work on a little bit. And many years ago, I feel like more over the last decade, maybe, I've sort of done less of like just sitting there and crafting like forever. Like I used to do that like a lot. And I think I would take like a lot of the cool vibe out of it, just overthinking things. So I still, what do you say? A friend of mine said, compose. I heard someone say, I got to compose some music. I'm like, okay, again, wait. And they're not dicks either, but it's just, I feel lucky to get to do what I do. So I kind of dumb it down, I make up songs. I don't really write them, but, I go into more composition mode, I guess, on the back end after I record something. So I'll record and make something up, put it on my phone. Like my phone has just, shit, dude. Your people can't see this, but hang on, I'll show you. Can you see this right here? Right? Okay. So you see what's happening here? You see what's
So
going on?
are those all voice recordings of songs then?
Yeah. So that's like however many that would be. What do you think? 500, 1,000? I don't know, 300 maybe. I'm not sure. I don't want to exaggerate. But what is it? Fuck, I don't know. People just listening to this love this, hearing this. But yeah, I refer to that, sometimes, and I'll save something and just not labor over it, a lot. That song Slugs, I wrote that like in this situation, like on a podcast. My friend Mike Herrera, Mike, he does a podcast. I think it's called the Mike Herrera podcast. But he was asking me the same question. And he's like, I know you just kind of make up songs. And I'm like, everybody can. And they're not always good, but it's fun. I've been doing it since I'm in fucking 7th grade, right? It's just my favorite thing. When I met Chad Rex, right? It's just my favorite thing to do. And I get to do it all the time, if they're good or bad. And he goes, all right, well, shit, will you write a song about slugs, And I'm like, fuck, I don't know. I could probably write a song about slugs. What do you want to know about slugs? Like, so people eat slugs, and I did that. And I wanted it to be, I don't know, it just kind of evolved. I think most of the words were, yeah, it's not a problem. Oh, yeah. And then, yeah, other people need rugs, and I support them. It's about acceptance, Oh, I know. Oh, yeah, okay, anyways, people can listen to the song later, but it's a minute long. And yeah, I wrote it on a fucking podcast live, and it ended up being your favorite song on the record. So that, I like that, The first song on the record, I labored over, and then I edited it down big time.
You said you did it on a call like this one. How does something like that work? Because I know you do a lot of collaborations too, and some of that remotely. What's the process of doing a song with somebody who's not in the same room, same state, same country with you?
Well, it was just like this. I'm sitting here looking at you and Ian, but it's Mike. And he just, I mean, I was doing an interview like on his podcast, just like this, like, what do you want a song about right now? What do you want a song about?
Well, Ian, it's your podcast. I think you have to
I mean-
choose. If you give it to me, it's just going to be about karaoke. You know this.
No, you know what I want to choose.
Singing other people's songs. Singing other people's songs. Singing other people's songs. See, that one's not starting good. Hang on. Karaoke. Just singing other people's songs. Just singing other people's songs. Singing other people's songs. I don't know, whatever. But that'll probably be a middle part, right? Like probably starts in A. Let's go out and have a good time like karaoke. Da, 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 da. Singing other people's songs. Okay, anyways, I'll work on that later, but I think that's pretty good though, actually. That could be good. Singing other people's songs. Okay, anyway, so that's how it works.
Who would be your favorite people to collaborate with?
To collaborate with?
Yeah.
Shit. I mean, kind of doing those kinds of songs. I mean, Frank, that was the original. He's the original Buddies. Oh my God. Can I share something with you? You're gonna love this. So I'm putting out another record and I'm printing these out. See that? So I'm printing these out for the inserts because I haven't done the credits yet. I bought like this stamp of this ghost and I like to, personalize things. I'll get to the stamp later, but as I'm doing the credits, I kind of hit on this whole Buddies Manifesto of mine. And I think you might like this. Can I read this to you? I think it's a breakthrough for me, just in my brain. And no one's heard me say this yet. And I think this is an exclusive. So after this big, long thank you list, right? I go, I got to add, my friend Jay Insult says, and then in quotes, we need to bring back the long ass thank you list. And then I go back to talking. But it's a bummer if you leave somebody out. I appreciate everyone. It's true. Even folks who teach us how not to act. I know there are a lot of buddies out there, and I'm stoked to be one of them. For real. I'm not a solo artist. I think of Buddies as a co-op. I just like being part of things. There's no ego. An underdog, but part of the pack, I say. When an actor is huge and they get above the title credits, I have an idea like that, but it's the opposite. Like now, when I play with people, we bill it under my name, Jon Snodgrass plus Buddies. I mostly do that because I'm not trying to exploit, I got some fucking famous friends, I'm, not trying to make a thing out of that. Right. But so I envision someday Buddies, like it's going to be huge. And then just in fine print, it's just like our names. So that's on this record. It just says Buddies huge. And it just says Snodgrass, Cresswell, Egerton, Lucy Ramone, Chad Rex, Simon, Bill Stevenson, Brian Wallstrom. And, we're all just equal because I think we're all equal. I mean, I learned music from some of these people, like how, man, they made the soundtrack of my life. But in my opinion, it's just a really short life and we're all equal, right?
Dang, that sentiment about just having to be it. That's how I feel like. I've talked to Ed about this, but just in the last year, like I met you, I met Frank, I met like everybody like in like Frank's circle. And while I'm happy about this, I feel like I've made it to like my personal top. I still feel just happy to be here with everybody.
Absolutely.
So
yeah, I just want to be involved. That's right. That's a song where I'm finished. It's like, I'll get to that. It's called Friends of the Dancer. John Gaunt. Do you know who John Gaunt is?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. We're just happy to be here, be here. Friends of the Dancer. Just happy to be involved. Friends of the Dancer, y'all. Just happy to be involved. Yeah. So that's going back to your first question about like songs. Yeah, that's the thing. I've been singing in bands and stuff. And that's a me and Corey Brannon thing. And me and Corey Brannon made a record together. And it was supposed to be a 7-inch, but he was upstairs talking to his girlfriend on the phone for a really long time. And I just kept recording songs. So it turned into a 12-inch record. And I was trying to get that on there. Or no, that's for the next record. Yeah. But it's all. So I guess someday when this song comes out, I'll be like, yeah, fuck, I don't know. I just forgot about it till I was talking about my Buddies Manifesto. And then I remembered, oh yeah, I'm just trying to be involved. Talking to Ian and Brett somewhere outside of Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I think my favorite collaboration I saw you do was live, actually, was with Greg Norton, just in Denver as well.
Greg? Oh shit.
How did you two meet, and how did that feel, be able to play like Husker Du songs with them?
Yeah, that's a perfect example of not making a big deal out of something and just being able to surprise people, right? I mean, that was pretty cool, right? I mean, I thought I show up, I play some songs by myself, but my friend Greg, who I met, and I loved his band forever. God, I don't remember how he ended up being at Bill Stevenson's birthday party, and I knew the girl he was dating, and he came over, and then I hadn't seen him yet, and she's like, "Oh, I have someone who wants to meet you," and it was Greg Norton. I'm like, "Oh, cool," and he's like, "I'm a fan of your music," and I'm like, "Oh shit, I'm a fan of your music too." You know, and then he would just travel around a lot, and he's just been going out and going to gigs and stuff. And he said, "I'm coming to Denver. I want to be a buddy. You know, I'm one of the buddies." I'm like, "Oh, fuck yeah, you are. I would love that." He wanted to play some songs, and I was trying to think of what to do. And then somehow, we were in Portland, and he came to a gig in NATO Coles. We played the Slow Death like reunion, like a 15-year reunion thing. And NATO played, and when NATO and his band plays, they always end up going into like replacement songs and Husker Du songs and fun shit. And Greg happened to be there, and Patty's wife, Christy Costello, was like, "Greg should play," and Greg started playing bass. And I'm normally not this forward, like, you know, I just want people to have fun and be involved. But I was kind of like, I'm gonna have to sing this song, whatever this is. You know, like I didn't know what they were gonna do. And they're like, it makes no sense at all. I'm like, cool. Walking around with, you know, like, cause that I got that tape. That's the first Husker Du record I got, and it was a tape. And it was a long time ago. I could tell that story later. But anyways, we did an impromptu thing. And then when he called me and said, "Hey, I'm coming to Denver. You want to do some songs?" I'm like, "Oh, cool." And I was at the airport actually picking up Chad Price and his band, because I was loaning them what was I still have it. It's the old Drag the River band, and it's full of instruments and amps and drums and shit. Anything you need to do. If you want to sound like AC/DC and can play like AC/DC, I got the van for you, and you can drive around, right? It kind of just covers everything. But regardless, I heard them in the back seat, and it was funny. One of the guys was like, "Man," like they saw my phone, and they're like, "It looks like Greg from Husker Du was calling John. Wouldn't that be crazy?" And I hear Chad Price go, "Probably was." Right? And then they go, they said something, and then I realized that these guys, Corey and Tone, they can play anything. These guys that are in Chad Price's band, which is called the Chad Price Peace Coalition. Anyways, they made a new record. It's awesome. I'm giving them a plug right now, but it's fucking great. Those dudes can play anything, and they led me to believe that they could round out like a Husker Du band. And I said, "Okay, fuck it. Let's do it. Let's do a secret little thing." So after I played my solo set, those guys came up, and we ripped through like 9 Husker Du songs. It was fun as shit. You know what I mean? And then we did it again in Portland, because we were both going to be in Portland. That was a little less of a secret, but kind of still was, you know, like it was just the thing, like that thing I showed you before, you know, how he changed it to Buddies, and it has all the names underneath. So there's a thing that we use a lot, and it says Snodgrass, and it's plus Buddies, but I just changed that. And so grass, GRASS, I scraped out the ASS and then put EG in there, and then a comma after the D, and it says Snod, Greg, and Buddies. And I put the 2 little umlauts over the U, over the U. So it was like a Husker Du thing. Yeah, if you ever see that again, that's what's going to happen. But you probably won't, or maybe you will. I don't know. It could happen next week, or it could happen next year, or never. Closer to never, but probably. I bet someday. It's fun as shit. I mean, just playing. Like, I've never learned other people's songs really, but like I said, little Chad kind of taught me how to play guitar. He taught me how to play. A lot of songs that are in like the key of like G and D. Like that kind of Waylon. He said he learned it from watching Waylon on I don't know, some TV show, but he saw him not playing this, this type of super folky G, that kind of G. And he's like, oh, it's just easy because when you're learning to play guitar, you can just play all over the world. I'm like, oh, cool. So yeah, whatever. It's just folk guitar is basically what I'm saying. So I never learned a lot of songs, but I learned a lot of songs that are played like that. And I know those songs like the back of my hand, and it was fun to do. That's all. Super fun.
Because I'm not a musician. So what's the difference between like a folk G and just a G, I guess?
Well, there's just different phrasings. I mean, like that's a G, right? And you can play like all over, and you could like Social Distortion's going to do that, Bob Mould's going to do that, and Joan Baez is going to do that. Normally, it's just a different type of, what do you call it? I'm sorry. I just woke up and I know it's late, but I just woke up and it's because I'm actually kind of off tour. Like I'm kind of on break for like 3 weeks now. It's not quite 3 weeks, but it's a bit. So I'm just now having my coffee and I'm getting it together. So I apologize if I'm not communicating well.
No, when do you head out next?
I am going to go. I think I fly to Houston. Fuck, I don't know, buddy. Like 23rd or something. What, Wednesday or Thursday at the end of the month. It's right at the end. And I'm going to meet my guys that are in the Man Cats that are from Minneapolis. And we're going to play 3 shows with the Mad Caddies. And then my plan was to take the van because I'm picking up my new record in Dallas. And I don't know how to make money, but I know how to save money, right? So like that saves me shit, dude, like $500 in like shipping. So that means like that's 50 cents per record. I can, like start taking, or $1 or whatever, just depends. So I'm picking those up and I'm going to drop them in Florida before Fest. But I asked nicely and I got offered to do a couple shows with Lucero. So I'm going to drive and do a couple shows with them. And then I actually sent out a message. I'm going to try and go over to Atlanta. So I played with Lucero in Jackson, Mississippi, and in New Orleans. And then I'm going to look at maybe Atlanta and maybe, and then I'll play in Gainesville before Fest, which is the fucking best. Like 3 weeks before Fest, and then in Jacksonville. Yeah, and then I'll come back. I'll fly to Fest. I'll do Fest, Orlando, and then Nashville. I'm going to stay there and work on a couple tunes with some folks. And then Halloween, I'm going to play in Kansas City, and Lawrence and St. Louis with Ultimate Fake Book. And then I think December, I'm going to try and go to Little Rock, Arkansas, and play the Holiday Hangout. But that's pretty much the end of my year. I'm at the end of the year, basically. And today was my first day to sleep in.
I'm actually going to be seeing you. I'll be down at Fest too. I won't be playing. I'll be running merch for my friends that call Early Riser. So I'll be seeing you down.
Oh, cool. Early Riser. One of the, those are the girls that, and then Mikey plays drums.
Yep.
Yeah, those guys are cool. And when I say those guys, you know what I mean. I mean, as a collective of people.
I just met Mikey just last year at Camp Pennsylvania. I didn't realize how many bands he just plays in.
Yeah.
Isn't he doing like 18 sets at Fest?
He does that kind of stuff. But you know what? I mean, I don't know how he is with all the bands, but I believe, I mean, he has a way of making everybody feel special. Like my dogs do. Holy shit. This dog Cheddar Bob, and this is Margarita Pizza. And everybody loves them. And like, I don't think they have a favorite. like they go around and they give everyone the same amount of time. It's beautiful.
What kind of dogs are they?
These are Chihuahua dogs. Here, grab one.
He's the size of my dog's head.
Okay. And then there's another one, margarita pizza that she'll probably come over in just a little bit. My friend Michael Casey is coming over. Did I bring that up?
No.
He's in town. He was in town for like a secret. Our friend Drew got married to his then girlfriend Christy. But he was like the secret dude that came in. He's from Baltimore originally. He lives in North Carolina. I think it's out there. Did you ever know about, well, I said Lucero before. Were you ever like a Lucero fan? I mean, you know about them, right?
Yeah, I just met Ben just like back in June.
Oh, cool. He's the best. Yeah, no, it's funny you say that because so Michael Casey years ago, he was like, yeah, Ben's good looking singer, man. No one ever pays attention to the drummer. And he started this thing called the Roy Army, and he was the Roy Ninja. And so it was kind of like an Andre the Giant has a posse type sticker, thing that went everywhere. This is late 90s. I don't know, maybe 2000, early 2000s, I guess. But yeah, I was one of the people that I didn't know who the Roy Ninja was, for a while because you weren't supposed to. I finally did, I'm not saying I found out before everybody else, but as some people did. But he would mail these stickers out and then you put them up and it was awesome. So that's Michael Casey, and he is a famous, he's a, what do you call him? A magician, which he's like David Blaine kind of dudes, that blow your mind. Like people send me texts and stuff and they're like, this guy's fucking scary wizard, man, cause it's true. Like he can tell someone's like sad and he'll have him like write something on a piece of paper. And then this is the thing he did in Raleigh once. And he like burned the piece of paper and he like blew it out and then pointed across the street to this building across the street that had been closed. Right. And he tells this girl like, okay, go over there and just, I don't know, check out that window over there. And it was like her dad's name on the inside of the window. He never met this person and her dad has just passed away. And like, I mean, I think he felt bad because like he didn't know how serious that was going to be. And I saw him console this person and make it a cool situation, but he can do fuck shit like that. Doesn't always have to be a dark, weird thing. Oh, there's margarita pizza. So margarita pizza, we needed I wanted a friend for Cheddar Bob. Both of our dogs, obviously they're rescues and they came already named. And, I don't think there's anything wrong with, changing a name on a dog, I guess. Definitely not. But I kind of think if you can roll with it, it's cool. And especially if your kids like the name, right? So margarita pizza was actually named by the daughter of my friend who was fostering it. And they brought the dog over and we're immediately like, oh yeah, cool, margarita. And his daughter's like, it's margarita pizza. Like the whole thing? Is that the last name is pizza? It's like, no, just margarita pizza. I'm like, so I have to say margarita pizza all the time. I don't even love margarita pizza. I'm a pineapple pizza man. I don't care. Yeah, I know them. And that's another thing. Why on the internet does everyone just have to be so goddamn contrarian? I like all barbecue, good and bad. All tacos, good and bad. All pizza, good and bad. You know what I mean? Like, fuck, man. 50-50 is 100%. Take it easy. Like, I'm sophisticated. I've had some fancy shit, but I also like some not fancy shit. It is fine. I don't know. I think, right? I just made like I'm on the fucking computer going, like, I like Ritz. Okay. Anyways, whatever.
I can say that I've gotten my fair share of fights over some dumb food arguments. So I don't care for pineapple on pizza. If
You don't care for it?
then that's your prerogative. But
I agree.
don't
And that's fine. Yeah. People are like, it doesn't belong on pizza. And I'm like, you know what? I get that. Because when I eat that, I'm not even thinking of it like it's a pizza thing that I'm eating. It's just pineapple pizza, right? I mean, that just pizza is just the way to deliver that delicious, sweet, juicy flavor with the savory ham. Like it's great. And there's only certain types of pizza that I want that, right? Certain places I go, I'm like, no, I would never get a pineapple pizza there. That's crazy, right? So I get both sides of it. But if someone would ever be with me at the right place where I prefer the pineapple pizza, they'd be like, oh, this is great. I don't even feel like I'm eating pizza. I'm like, no, because you're not. You're eating pineapple pizza. It's not pizza. Pineapple pizza. It's a different thing.
I'm
So-
curious, like,
Right? Does that make sense? Is that a good way to put it?
yeah, I'd say so.
When people argue and like, okay, well, fuck, I'm just calling it pizza, but like it's fucking mooklok, right? I wrote a fucking paper about it I went to college for a little bit to placate my mother. I was in a writing class and I talked about that because I was talking about Star Trek. And this is before internet, but I was talking about people arguing and people would be like, I like the original Star Trek. I'm like, well, I fucking do too. I also am a next generation man. So just relax. I'm a fan of all of Roddenberry's works. I also like Totino's and I also like New York pizza when I got to go there one time. They're both great. Like I've been on this for a fucking long time, just, I don't know. I guess Ian, it makes me bummed when just don't waste your time arguing and being upset about shit. Just fucking go, man. Just, and when you screw up, admit it. Like I don't like making mistakes, but it's almost worth it when I can be accountable for something like it, just like this, this
Yeah.
stuff comes on your shoulders and you're like, yeah, feels like I just cut all my long hair off and it's summertime, like it's a good vibe, right? So whatever. I'm not trying to preach. I'm just, I'm an older gentleman now and I'm just
Yeah.
trying to share what I think is some wisdom,
I'm with you. Like it takes courage to, and it's uncomfortable taking accountability, but it's worth it at the same time. It helps you grow. Once you do that, that's when you can start doing better. Just saying, hey, I fucked up. I'm sorry. I will try to work on myself.
Absolutely. And then we don't have to talk about it no more. That's my fault though. I'm not my fault, but my problem is, and that's where the Tase came from. And I know I'm doing it right now too. I just get kind of disjointed. I talk too much. I'm kind of editing myself as I'm speaking, like that thing I read you at the beginning. I mean, that's me literally. I was trying to type out just a quick little credits thing. And as I was going on that, I'll share this with you because I don't think I'm going to do this. Lots of times I have an idea. Oh, okay, here we go. See, I'm going to have a breakthrough right now. Lots of times I'll have an idea. And I've said before, like, man, if my inside jokes could connect with everyone, that would be great. But also, I don't need to connect with that many people. Like the small amount of people that like to come and see me and listen to me is about as much as I can handle, right? Like mentally, and I love that. It's great. But anyways, my most recent thing, and I've talked to some pretty rad people about it that thought it was a great idea, but I wanted to try and help folks be stoked for this election, right? And just make sure that we go out and vote. And I know that people have gotten really stoked about Tim Walz, like a lot of people that are from my Gen X, type generation, like that love Husker Du and the Replacements. Yeah, because it kind of came out that like him and like Congressman Beto or Rourke, had gone to see Husker Du or something like that. Like there's something, and I got everyone stoked. And I'm like, okay, this is what we're gonna do. And I'm not gonna say who I talked to, but I talked to some fucking rad people. Well, it's still I think whatever. I sent off a version though of New Day Rising that goes into in a free land to some other people that are pretty rad. And I was trying to think of the name, like Tim Buddies or something, and I just wanted people to be like, oh, is that fucking, that sounds like so-and-so singing, and that's definitely so-and-so doing this, and I thought that would be cool if a bunch of bands just sort of did that, because it would just get people talking, you know, and be like, oh, who is that? You know, like just like it's a secret, anonymous. So I've been on this whole anonymous idea, which is where my flipping the script on the buddies thing is. Like, I like that idea, you know, and anyone who knows me and if they know that, yeah, fucking Frank might be there, or fucking Bill might be there, or, you know what I mean? Like Mike Jurg might be there, you know, like you never know. And if you look real close, you know, you see it, who's there. But that's not the huge thing. But for people who really want to know, like normally I get to play with the Man Cats, and which Tim Walls lived in Mankato. He's a Man Cat. The dudes in my band that I call Man Cats, they're from Minnesota. It's Man Cat. So the whole thing is just kind of connected in my little world. And I know my brain is fucking not the best at communicating my ideas, right? But anyways, if you hear something that sounds like some rad people play some Husker Du or replacement songs, I don't know. People start arguing on the internet, just send me a text and I'll tell you who. But I mean, I love that. So I didn't mean to go off somehow. I don't know why we were necessarily talking quite about that. Oh, I brought that up. Fuck, who knows? Who cares? I just like being a part of it, baby.
You know, I'm with you. I myself am trying to get people involved in this election, honestly, because there is a. I understand why some people will be mad at Kamala for her administration. I get that. But it's definitely fucking better than what could happen. Again,
I agree. And it's unfortunate the situation that we're in. We all know. And like I said, I'm like getting older. It's all the same stuff that we've always talked about. Yes, something needs to get ran better, you know, like, I don't know. I think there's a song on that record of mine where I talk about this being what did they used to always say about like when we started this fucking country of ours, you know, like it was an experiment, you know? And yeah, we need to fucking tighten up some of that shit. You know, you ever see when they wrote this piece of paper, it took fucking 10 minutes to load a gun, right? You know, it's like, yeah, that's fine. Everyone can have one of those, right? But like, not one that's fucking shoots 100 bullets in a second, right? Like just stuff like that. We got to maybe work on that, you know? I don't want a bunch of cops and fucking army men living in my house if they feel like it. You know, like there's just certain things that need to not happen, right? Like that's the 1700s, right? A long time ago. Things changed. You know, we all got iPhones and shit now. They're going to be in our head at some point. I'll be gone by then. Ooh. Yeah, that's another thing I'll tell you. It won't be a very long time. But if you see, if anyone sees, like I'm in my, say like my 80s, you know, definitely if I'm in my 90s. But if you're like, fuck, Snodgrasses, buddies, see, you know that's going to be my last trip. Just sharing. There's nothing negative about it, but that's how I want to go back to the world, you know?
At sea?
I don't want to be burned. I don't want to be none of that. I don't really want to jump in a volcano. I kind of want to go out and just reconnect, like go down in like a boggy swamp, you know, and like just go, because I want the whole body of the thing to start growing. Like why do I got to take the evolution of that like so far back to just dust, you know, like let's make it get fucking going, you know, underneath New Orleans, there's going to be some new weird little world happening like 1,000 years from now, you know, that starts off just my toenail. I don't know what it's going to be. And it's not about me. I'm just trying to be part of the thing, you know? Right?
exactly.
It's not supposed to be grim, you know, we're all going to be gone and we're going to get good rest. It's going to be cool.
And I think so far many games.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Guys, motherfucker. We got some quick fire questions for you.
Okay.
Since you brought up Star Trek, now I'm curious. I know you like both original and next gen, but are you Kirk or Picard?
Oh, am I Kirk? I mean, but that's just because that's the first dude, you know, that I saw from that. And you kind of go with the classic, but Yeah, I mean, I always liked Kirk. I remember forever, like and I can still do it. It doesn't feel good. Like I was playing baseball with my kids and nobody saw me. Like I actually was kind of doing like dad coach, like helping out the dad coaches. And I went to get a ball and I had to do the roll, like the tuck and roll. And I did it, but it fucking hurt. And I still do it like on my skateboard every once in a while and it still hurts. But I learned that from Kirk. You know what I mean? Like rolling in and like kicking some alien in the nuts or something, right? In his yellow shirt. Good looking yellow. I got a yellow shirt that I wear that's that same type of color. And it's because of him, I think. Yeah, babe.
Nice. What's your favorite Star Trek race of aliens?
I don't know. I guess tribbles because they're cute. Seem to be easy to take care of. Right? ain't no trouble with tribbles. What do you mean trouble with tribbles? It's easy.
What are your musical guilty pleasures, if you have any?
See, I don't agree with that. I don't believe that there are guilty pleasures. I mean, they're just pleasures and like, fuck, whatever. That goes back to the people arguing about stuff, right? And I'm not trying to sound like I know everything when I say that kind of shit, right? I mean, it's just you get where you get with your brain whenever you get there. And my brain is like, I'm not going to waste my time fucking arguing about pizza or fucking if I like Taylor Swift or not, you know what I mean? Because she wouldn't be a guilty pleasure. I think pretty much every song of hers I've heard, I think is good, I don't listen to it, but that's just because, my kids don't listen to it right now. But, I took them to see Ghost and that's again, I think, so I guess I'll talk about it this way. Things that I think are polarizing, to some folks. I feel because I talked about Ghost and took my kid to see him and a friend of mine who's like always arguing about shit. He was like, yeah, it's like Scooby-Doo metal. And I'm like, well, fuck, man. I don't know. I don't really love metal and I love Scooby-Doo. So that sounds great to me, trying to make me feel bad about Ghost.
It's Scooby-Doo metal?
Yeah. He just said, well, Scooby-Doo Satanism or what, like, because they do like, there's like, they're kind of devil shit, but it's like kind of fun and cartoonish, like it's not super scary,
Before we were actually recording, we were talking about food and on the road and touring, and that's usually one of our questions in this. So, as you're going across the country, what are the top 4 things you specifically want to eat when you're somewhere
Pequod's
that's
pizza?
not Fort Collins? What's that?
Pequod's Pizza in Chicago.
So good. So good.
Dude, it's like, I just said it, and you know what it means when you gleek? What gleeking means? Yeah, it's like just squirting out of my mouth, just grub it. It's so good. It's so good. Yeah, so Pequod's Pizza in Chicago. And then, yeah, of course, I like to have a Pat's in Philadelphia. There's this place, I know this sounds so strange, but I went there again, but I got to play this place in, it was in Germany, and I think it's in Munster. And there was this place we played. I played there with Joe McMahon from Smoker Fire, because he lives out there now. So whatever town he lives in, I think it's Munster. But we played this little club, and that's where I came up with the idea of there's nothing wrong with your first rodeo. Let's go. I wrote that because I heard some German person go like, it's not my first rodeo, which doesn't sound German at all. But I think I went out of my way to sound different because I didn't want to be racist to these fine German people. But which is true. The German folks, the kids, I mean, they are the fucking most politically correct, on the right side of fucking history, type of folks, just because I think they felt, whatever. Doesn't matter. But anyways, they go, it's not my best rodeo, thinking they're going to say this American slang, thing and get something out of me, which they did. And I go, you know what? Sometimes it is your first rodeo. And that's not a big deal. It's okay. You're probably going to suck. You might be great. Might be a natural. Doesn't matter. But why you got to be taunting people about their first rodeo or bragging about your first rodeo? Who gives a fuck what kind of pizza and barbecue you like or what you think about Star Trek? Nobody cares. You know what I mean? Whatever. Anyways, so I had the best, like, I would just say it's just a broad, just Asian food. You know what I mean? It was like a little bit of everything. I can't say it was specifically anything because it was in Germany and they're trying to touch on everything. And they had some Mexican food there too. But the fucking Chinese chicken that I ate was fucking awesome. Like it was maybe the best because they're really particular about their stuff. If you like McDonald's and they're going to bring back the McRib and you love it, you want to go get it in Germany because they're going to make it exactly the way it was supposed to be made. Just saying. That's not really for me, but I'm just sharing with you, like they're very particular and they, and they follow the directions.
I'm gonna throw this out for you because I think this is something you might like if you don't go all the way vegan before the next time you're in upstate New York. Our
Well, I
friend Rose used to live in Rome, New York, and when I would visit her, there is a Chinese restaurant that took over a pizza place, and the pizza place owners taught the Chinese restaurant people how to make pizza because they still had this big pizza oven. So if you wanted to get sesame chicken pizza at this place, you could. It's Chinese food on top of pizza, and it is one of the best, weirdest things I've ever ate in my travels.
That sounds good. And
I
then
still dream about this pizza.
It's funny you say that. So I'll take that in another direction. I mean, similar, because you're talking about food and I can't think of the name. I'll look it up. Let's put it in the credits, like when you post this. But there's a spot and it's in Albany, New York. It might be in Troy, but it's kind of right around in that area, right around Albany. And it was, again, back to the gleeking. I'm thinking about it now. This barbecue sandwich, and it was a vegan barbecue sandwich. It was, what do you call that?
Jackfruit?
Yeah. And I think about it all the time and it's so good. So that brings me back to the, vegan thing. Yeah. If I had when I'm traveling, when I'm with people traveling and they're vegans, I love it because they probably know where to go and I eat their food and it's fucking killer. I just don't know all the spots, but like, I'm ready, I mean, like fucking, I don't care if it's going to ruin the world, just shut it down and then make everything. Tell me how to make it. I'm ready. I know how to make some of it. You know what I mean? But like, yeah, I mean, I love eating vegan. Great. I just, I need to make sure that I get the right amount of protein. So I feel like, I mean, I think everybody does, right? So I think that's just my problem. I got to make sure that I don't want to eat peanut butter sandwiches all the time, but I know I can do that if it comes to it. Right? Like that's why I was eating that egg. I like to get something that is just a blast of some kind of energy without having to fucking take all morning to get it going. Like I got to grab shit and go because I'm always late. I'm never late. Sometimes I am, but I don't, but I don't want to, I'm not ever trying to, make excuses. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I just get sidetracked. That's all. And I wasn't late today. See, I'm either really early. I wasn't late to this meeting, but sometimes I'll be like super late and fuck, I don't know. I'm not trying to disrespect anybody. Like I feel, yeah, people shouldn't take it personal, but I think people that are constantly late should realize that people could take that very, very personally, so don't, right. Just don't do it. People's time is worth a lot, so don't be late. That's the thing I've always tried to do. And I'm pretty good at it. And when I am late,
I was in jazz band in high school. I was always told, if you're early, you're on time. If you're on time, you're late. So I abide by that.
yeah, I've heard that. And I agree with that. I agree with that too. And it just fucking feels good to not be fucking stressed and come into the situation, sweaty on your bike, like, oh, I saw this thing on the internet. And it was about having like a good day. And it's totally true. Brush your teeth with the wrong hand. It's kind of get your brain kind of reformatted. And then you like look in the mirror. I mean, this is kind of cheesy, but you're like, I love you. Like be positive to yourself for like 10 of those. And then you do the really exaggerated 25 breaths. And you're fucking stoked and ready to go. You eat an egg and you're out the door. It's great. Just sharing that with you.
I got to ask this question because this is now my standard question, but if we were all out at some bar in Fort Collins, perhaps, wherever, and it was a karaoke bar, what song would you get up and sing?
Torn between two lovers, feeling like, ooh, maybe that. No, I like to do a duet, because like with a friend, I'm pretty. It goes back to the buddies thing. I just happen to have some friends that are fucking good at shit, and you're only as good as who you're performing with, I think. So when you're singing with someone who sings real good, like it's fucking great, like someone's like, "Oh, you sound good." It's like, that's because they sound good too, you know? So it's true. I think it's more fun with somebody. So I have done, kind of the go-tos are me and my friend Carl, who's good musician. He, we did, oh, to all the girls I loved before, Julio Iglesias and Willie Nelson. But it's funny because we were killing that tune. And it was so good. And we're like kind of patting each other on the backs, like literally, like, yeah. And I remember we're looking down and do you sing karaoke?
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
you know what the screen looks like, and you got the words, and you're like, I don't need these words. I know this song, or sometimes you do. But then we see like in 16 seconds, the bridge. And we looked at each other and we're both like, bridge? Like, we forgot there was a fucking bridge. Oh, man. So, yeah, we ate shit on the bridge. I mean, it was in a key, but I don't think it was the way the song's supposed to go. But whatever. That's always fun. And then me and my friend Bill have done I Got You, Babe. It's pretty good. And then if I ever have to sing it all by myself, oh, this is a good story. You know that band, the Vandaliers?
Yeah.
They're fucking great. So they do this thing where they go and they have karaoke, and then they put when they see you sign up for your song, they go and secretly talk to whoever is the runner, like whoever is, the DJ, whatever. And they change it to what's going on? Well, I sing a song and I sing and a song, right? So I see them and they're all like, I'm coming up. I'm thinking I'm singing Warren Zevon, excitable boy, they all said. And I'm ready to sing some Warren Zevon, love him. And that song comes on and I see them all just smiling like, we got you. But you know what? I'm not cocky. I don't want to brag about it, but I slayed that fucking tune. Didn't know all of it. Had heard some of it. Again, there was a bridge. I think I freeballed some stuff. Pretty happy about it. Their tour manager was like, "You beat the boys at their own game." I'm like, huh? Damn. Because it could have gone like another direction, but it was great. It was on a wireless mic. I went all around the property, went outside, sang to some people outside, brought them in. They ended up singing some songs too. That's what I'm talking about. It's just buddies, just being a part of the thing, including everyone. Then you hand the mic back over to someone else and wait for your turn again, maybe, or whatever. Like that is so much fun, in my opinion, and that's why I was like, I'm not a solo artist. I'm a solo with a bro artist, I like to, I don't know, just like it's just fucking fun, what we get to do. We're all, like I say, that we're all like equal. You, me, him, like all of us, like we're successful if we get to do anything, if we get to do any of this stuff, right? That's my opinion. Yeah, don't complain about it. Just enjoy it. It's fucking fun. Like, don't always be trying to get to the next level or whatever. If it's to happen, it'll happen. If you're going to worry about shit all the time, you're just worrying about how things are going to be, just be in the moment. And all these things are very cliche that I'm saying. And I'm aware of that, but it's because they're true, it's just true. So I don't know. I'm on that path. I'm still trying to boil it down. I'm working on it, but 50/50 is 100%.
Yeah, I'm pretty much the same way. Like I wrote songs about just me trying to live in the now because I'm always just focused on what's gonna happen next. I have that just to look over my shoulder, like wondering what the fuck's gonna happen next. But
Mm.
and then go back to what you're saying about just being involved. Like we have Vanessa G. Stefano, Micah, recently, and Vanessa always says DIY music doesn't mean do it yourself, it means do it with others. So
Mm.
it's just the best way to do something.
Yeah.
It's with friends, just have a good time doing it.
Yeah, I love those too. Those guys are great. Known them a long time. They're in it for the right reasons. They understand. Yeah, they got it. Love it.
Ed, did I tell you my first time meeting John?
I don't think so, but this would be a good time to do it.
I think it was like right after we finished playing in Baltimore at Waverly. I looked at you because I was talking to Micah about you like during that day. Micah told me to tell you hi. I said, man, Micah says hi. He just went, I don't know him. I went, Micah Schnabel? I don't know who that is. He did it for like 5 minutes and he was dealing fucking with you. I went, mother.
Never heard of him.
In all fairness, Ian, you are the most fuck-withable person I know.
It is true.
You
It's-
are
it's
without
true.
question. The thing I almost did, so we went on a couple support dates in Canada, and if Ian wasn't the most anxious man alive, I absolutely would have pulled we get to the border and be like, shit, I forgot my passport in Pittsburgh.
Uh-oh.
He would have murdered
Did that
me,
happen?
though. No. I was going
Right.
He would have murdered me, though, so we
I
chose
would
not
have
to do I
cried
chose not to do that.
so much.
Yeah, I used to kind of do that joke, and then to sort of like not that specifically, but like just say something that would just be a total ruiner. And then you're like, like, but you feel good now. Like, yeah, it's kind of a bummer. Like, I don't do those jokes no more, but I hear you. Yeah, I like you guys. This is fun.
We love you too. I have one more question for you for
Okay.
that surprise motherfucker. So I know outside music, you're also a big baseball fan.
Yeah.
So what are your 4 favorite baseball teams?
My 4 favorite teams. Okay, I can tell you that. I actually can tell you my 6. Can you 6?
Yeah.
Because I have teams in every division, that you kind of care about, right? So obviously I'm a Rockies man, which is just a mission and humiliation, humility. I think it's why I am the way I am, like 50-50 is 100%. Like that's all I ever strive for, like is a 500 ball team, right? I mean, that's great, right? I want to win 83 games, and then I want to not lose 100, okay. But my favorite teams, yeah. So let's go here. So National League East, we'll go across the top. So if I ever lived in New York, I would be a Mets fan. So LFGM, Mets. Let's go fucking Mets. Okay. Or let's fucking go Mets. Okay. So then, in the Central, yeah, obviously I'm a Rock, or no, in the West, I'm a Rockies fan. And then I'm a Brewers fan because the Brewers used to be an American League team. And my first favorite team, the team that got me into baseball, was the Colorado Rockies. And was the Kansas City Royals. I don't know. I just always appreciated the Brewers. Like when there's also lots of times a team that is in your division, that you respect, there's people always say, like, you got to have a team you hate, or what's that, like kill, marry, fuck, take on a date, whatever that game is, type of thing. There's normally, okay. So anyway, so the Brewers, I'm going to answer your question instead of going sideways like it is. So American League. Yeah, I was kind of liking to follow Tampa Bay. Like a couple years ago, they were just kind of coming out of nowhere, and I like that guy, Randy Rosarina, I think is his name. You know who I'm talking about? Dude's pretty rad. Well, he's always doing some fun shit. He's great. But I believe he might be leaving the team, so it's uncool that I'm bringing that up. I'm fucking sorry, Tampa. So in the middle, so kind of like the New York thing, I'm a White Sox man. I'm a South Side Chicago man. And then on the West Coast, well, yeah, because I'm an underdog man, I am a Oakland A's man. So those last 2 teams I told you about and my team are at the bottom. But someday we'll be at the top sometime. And then there'll be all these motherfuckers like, and I'm like, fuck you. You guys were talking shit. Fuck you. I'll never say that, but I'll think it. Fucking bandwagon. A-holes.
That's I'm Orioles, so I feel you.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you guys had a fucking rough couple of years. And the Orioles are way up there for me on the East Coast, American League. I always liked them from the old, from like the 80s, like when I started watching baseball when I was like a little kid. My wife was asking like she met like an old friend of mine, and we were talking about baseball, and she's like, it just seems like out of nowhere, Jon is just super into baseball. And he's like, oh no. When we were 4 years old, I mean, he would be like on the floor making paint angels in the carpet, just fucking losing my mind over the Royals and the Phillies in the World Series, and it's true. I mean, that was the beginning of, humility, I think. I mean, that's the reason why I talk about baseball a lot. It's just a life thing. And a lot of people say that, and it's another cliche thing that it's, a mirror of life. But yeah, you're reasonably, some teams get in like the 600s, but like, it's really pretty close to 50-50, man. You're going to have a good day or a bad day. Everything is about balance. It's about sustaining, in my opinion. That's the rest of that song. 50-50 is 100%. Finite. No. 50-50 is all right. Oh, it's like a dinosaur, junior. 50-50 is 100%. I'm sorry, my apartment's a mess. Oh, yeah. That's all stay. Oh, yeah. That's all stay. We will. Yes, it's got. Can you hear that guitar? Can you hear that?
It's not coming through for us.
Can't hear-
No. No, it's not
No.
coming through.
That's a Cole Porter chord. Can you hear that thing?
Still no.
Damn. Well, it's an electric guitar, so it's over here. But
I am
not
a huge
plugged.
Cole Porter fanboy, so that made me happy.
Oh my God, this chord. So Bill Stevenson showed me this chord. No one can hear this, but then this is my favorite chord, which is very similar, but it's even okay. So back to having ideas and someone telling you something that isn't necessarily the way you would like, kind of changing your mind about something. Okay. So I showed this chord and he was like, you're going to show me a chord? And I'm like, yeah. And I showed this to Fat Mike like 2 weeks ago. And he said to me, he's like, I go, I love this chord because this is the biggest chord of like all the strings that I can play, without just, playing like just open. But this is like, it's a real chord. Like it's the first two strings for people who can't see what I'm doing. Ooh, that's it. Little Chad tells me to stop giving away our secrets. So I'm going to stop right there. I'll let you guys see it. Looks like that's fucking killing it. Anyways, and I'm like, no, I like to be able to fucking play all this, just get the biggest sound that I can. And I think he was like, why don't you try to sing that song with two strings? I'm like, what? Two? And it was just a weird way that kind of reminded me a thing that I definitely did, that I succeeded on the Barge of Will record and on the Tassé record. Like I've slowly been better at defining like the dynamics, and trying to define the parts of the songs even more. I mean, I just, talk about Husker Du. I love Husker Du. And that is just fucking everything all the time. Like literally 5 guitars, on every track. I'm just, and okay, that's cool. But, sometimes, I was playing Mike that song. 50-50 is 100%. It's fine night, 50 want a success. 50-50 is 100%. And that's all. It's like a dinosaur, junior. Okay. And he's like, and I'm playing these sweet chords that you can't hear. But he goes, why don't you try that though? He said, I think that this is why I don't like your songs. I go, oh, okay. He's like, because you give away too much in those chords a lot, like too much. You're a good singer. Like he was being nice to me. And you can sing whatever, just sing the song and don't give away all those notes in the chord sometimes. Well, he didn't say sometimes, he means all the time. But the way I'm thinking it is, when you hear that song on the next record that I'll probably do in the next year or so, because I'm putting out 2 records this year. So I'm not going to put out 3 this year, but maybe 2025. yeah, I'm just trying to boil it fucking all the way down now. So I'm sharing the philosophy of that, but what I'm really trying to share is, you know, I thought I knew how I liked to do things and I knew my process, but sometimes it takes someone just making a little comment, and it's something that I kind of been thinking, like I was trying to boil things down, and I had on those other records, like I said, but kind of put it in a different way, and it was inspiring to me, and I'm stoked, and he's really good at saying things, and like he gets to the point, and it's kind of mean, the way he says stuff, he kind of hurts your feelings, but then he'll say something nice about it too, and you're like, okay, you kind of need that. Anyways, I don't know. I'm sort of sharing that because we've had a lot of talk about not arguing about things or whatever. Like, and I know also I've been talking a lot. It's just about listening to people and then kind of pondering it. And yeah, sometimes it'll click something in your head, and hopefully people can just start listening to other people. Yes, Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, they're not perfect. They're better than fucking Trump, right?
100%.
But yeah, instead of everyone though arguing like, yeah, but we need another candidate, like another party, and like, yeah, no shit. Well, let's fucking figure that out. How about not make a big deal out of it every 4 years? Like, let's start working on it now, instead of the day that Donald Trump was elected, we just immediately start trying to do this Russian interference thing, like it's fuck, man. Let's do what it's insane. It takes fucking 4 years to get anything done, and it's still not done. And we all know that. I don't know. Buddies. Just be a part of it, just help out and listen to other people. Yeah. Maybe we should overthrow okay, what?
Those little thoughts.
I'm kidding. But I mean, I do believe that there should be a peaceful, radical change of some sort, and I really hope the younger folks can get that figured out. I feel like, the get off my lawn type folks that like talk about, oh, everything's easy now and everyone can plug in. And then I used to have to go to a record store and ride I did that, right? But whenever things are actually more accessible and progressions and tech and all that stuff, yeah, it's easier for someone. And then yeah, you had to pay for your college, and this guy gets, who cares? Like, now people, you don't have to waste your time learning the Dewey Decimal System at the library, right? Just fucking get the information in your head and go, right? Like, move along from there. Like, yeah, things are easier. Good. That means we can do harder things, right? So let's just get it going, right? I don't know. Like I said, like that's an example of me. Like I just fucking vomit bullshit out of my mouth all the time, trying to come up, like thinking ideas out, out loud, but I'll hit on something eventually. And I think that's pretty good. Right. What did I just say? Can we rewind it? But that was pretty good. Whatever I said 15 seconds ago was pretty good.
Things are easier now. Great. Let's work on the hard things, is what you said.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, if things are easier for people now, which means we can put more work into the hard things, or something like that. You guys work on, we'll get it done. But that's the whole collective of things, right? It's the Buddies Co-op. Thanks for being my buddies.
Thank you, buddy.
We love you, buddy. Thank you for
Yeah,
being on here. We truly appreciate it. So,
I appreciate it. Just someone wanting to talk to me. It's cool. It's a fun day.
of course, we haven't had a chance to actually sit down and talk to this. This has been really nice.
Yeah, I apologize for that. You were talking about seeing each other a lot this year or even over the last couple of years, and it sucks. I mean, like whenever it's at a gig or whatever, like there's a lot of folks around, and and we have to be there and be with everyone. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard. That's why I made the comment before. Like, yeah, I have friends that are in really popular bands, like I remember once Bill, he made the comment, and it was when Britney Spears was a long time ago and she was really popular. And he's like, yeah, you shouldn't be that young and be that popular, like to learn how to like do things. I mean, like that's just socially like that. It's so fucked. And I was thinking about it, and yeah, the age that she was at that time, and he was making a comment from personal experience, you know, because like he was that age, and in Black Flag, and in the most popular punk band, you know, and everything, it's all relative. But again, I was saying like we're all equal. Everything is relative. It's the same kind of shit. Like my second grade teacher said, doesn't matter how much money you have, everyone lives just a little bit above their means. And I'm like, oh, I see. I'm going to not do that. How about this? I need to have 3 times the amount of money if I'm going to buy something. You know, I'm not going to put shit on credit, you know? Anyways, just more food for thought for like folks. It's really simple, you know, just do what you can. Okay, I'll stop talking because I already said good shit. I need to leave on a high note. But it was that I look forward to seeing you guys again. And if we have to go around the corner and like, you know, sit at the coffee shop that's around the corner from the club, because there's just, you know, too many people there to talk to, we'll get a couple more minutes. But I had thought about that even before we talked about doing this interview. I was like, man, I never really got a chance to sit outside in the right spot. You just got to find a place to sit outside for a little bit.
Everyone needs a quiet corner. Thank you
Yeah.
so much, John.
Okay.
We will talk to you soon, buddy.
Okay. I just got fucking cut. I just got yanked. You guys just sent the hook out, and I just fucking went.
This show is the brainchild of Black Guy Fawkes folk punk griot. You can find him on all the social medias as Black Guy Fawkes or Black Guy Fawkes Music, as well as on Bandcamp. Merch, music, and ticket sales are how independent music gets sustained, but word of mouth also helps a great deal. The intro and outro are both from the song New American Meltdown by Black Guy Fawkes, so that's legally covered because this is his podcast, and that is his song available on the album Life, Love, and the Bomb. Additional music elements provided by Ben Dumb Production Music. Check out more at bdmusicproduction.com for all your bespoke, royalty-free background music needs. Sound design and editing by Ed Coulard, who appears courtesy of his dog and many, many cats. Cover art by Jacob Matthews, a pal who has been down since day one. Finally, while Fawkes and Friends firmly believes that punk rock is and should be a safe space, we know it can't be safe for everyone without excluding bad elements. So remember.
So tell your local Nazis and your fascists to fuck off.
You're Ed. Have we
I
met?
have not. We have not.
Nice
I've
to meet
listened to you
All right.
before, if that helps, but no, we have not met. I'm Ian's emotional support honky.
Understood. Where do you live at, Ed?
I'm outside of Pittsburgh.
Oh, cool.
That still makes you laugh every time I say it, Ian.
It does.
That just tickles me.